Disney Revival Era Films ranked by earnings. The Walt Disney Company has been a cornerstone of animations for almost 90 years. As time passed, Disney began to release pictures with similar styles and themes, and the business and fans began to refer to them as various films based on the eras in which they were made. Disney's Revival Era, which spanned more than a decade, is a fan favorite, with films generating billions of dollars. Sit tight in this episodes of Behind the Screens as we list down some of the Disney's finest Revival Era films, ranked by box office receipts. 11. Winnie the Pooh 2011, $49.8 million. In 2011, Disney chose to go back to the beginning with Winnie the Pooh, a collection of stories based on the first Winnie the Pooh book. The film was the third to be released as a part of Revival Era. Although it was not a box office success, it made $49.9 million globally, which isn't terrible given it only cost $30 million to make. 10. Raya and the Last Dragon 2021, $82.5 million. The film was released on Disney Plus and in theater at the same time, which may have influenced box office results. While the film is still in cinemas, it has already made $82.5 million at the global box office, which is a remarkable achievement given the film's release date. 9. The Princess and the Frog 2009, $267 million. When The Princess and the Frog was released in 2009, it had the honor of being the first film to start off the Revival Era. It was also Disney's animation's first princess features in 11 years, and one of the final occasions the studio used only 2D animation. While Princess and the Frog had a slow start, it went on to make $267 million at the box office worldwide. It certainly set the bar high for what could be expected in the new Revival Era, and it is still highly appreciated to the point where the Princess Tiana will have her own Disney show. 8. Racket Ralph 2012, $471.2 million. With Racket Ralph, Disney's fourth Revival Era film, the studio abandoned Disney princesses and established plot. Racket Ralph was nominated for multiple prizes, including the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature, for its decisions to tell an original story involving video games characters. Racket Ralph had a fantastic start and it only got better as the weeks passed. The film grossed $471.2 million worldwide on a $165 million budget by the end of its theatrical run. 7. Ralph Breaks the Internet 2018, $529.3 million. After the success of Wreck-It Ralph, Walt Disney Animation Studios decided to revisit Ralph, Penelope, and the rest of the video game gang in 2018. This time, Ralph and Penelope finds themselves sucked into the internet, a plot that seems to appeal to audiences around the world. The movie went on to gross $529.3 million globally, beating its predecessor. It also turned a major profit, having been made for only $175 million. 6. Tangled 2010, $592.5 million. Tangled was the first ever CG animated Disney princess. In addition, Tangled is one of the most expensive animated films of all time. Thankfully, the huge $260 million budget paid off because Tangled ended up earning $582.5 million at the global box office. At the same time, it was the highest grossing Disney princess movie. 5. Moana 2016, $642.3 million. The release of Moana in 2016 marked Disney's fourth Disney princess movie of the Revival Era and the first Disney princess of Pacific Islander descent. Moana went on to gross $643.3 million at the global box office, becoming the second highest grossing princess movie of the era at that time. The film has only grown in popularity since then and is now slated to be turned into a television series for Disney+. 4. Big Hero 6 2014, $657.8 million. With a budget of $165 million, Big Hero 6 quickly made that back at the box office and at the end of its theatrical release. The movie grossed $657.8 million globally. The movie was so successful that Disney ended up giving the franchise its own television series on Disney XD and is set to create another show for Disney+. 3. Zootopia 2016, $1.023 billion. 2016 was a big year for Walt Disney Animation Studios since they decided to release two original animated movies. Zootopia was the first of the 2016 animated films, and it did not disappoint. Going on to win Academy Award for the Best Animated Feature, Zootopia joined the coveted billion-dollar club, grossing $1.023 billion at the global box office during its theatrical release. This turned a huge profit for the company since the movie cost $150 million. 2. Frozen 1 2013, $1.281 billion. In 2013, Frozen went on to become a cultural phenomenon, grossing $1.281 billion globally against its $150 million budget. It went on to become the highest grossing film of 2013 out of both animations and live actions, and was the highest grossing animation film of all time until the release of the remake of The Lion King. 1. Frozen 2, 2019, $1.45 billion. Topping the box office of the revival era is Frozen 2, the highly anticipated sequel to the smash hit Frozen. Frozen 2 became a cultural phenomenon with the highest all-time worldwide opening for an animated movie. The movie earned $1.45 billion globally against its $150 million budget. It even out-earned its predecessor by nearly $200 million. Frozen 2 was however not nominated for an Academy Award for the Best Animated Picture. Today, the Walt Disney Company is in its 7th era, which has been dubbed Disney's Revival Era. While there is some argument over when the Revival Era officially began, fans agree that it began in 2009. The Revival Era has become a fan favorite better than the company's Renaissance Era. Thank you all for watching. Feel free to comment about this argument. Remember to subscribe and press the post notification